All right, continue after the list subjects. Let's implement a method so we can get all of the version numbers for a specific subject. So say we have a schema that has multiple versions. We want to be able to fetch it, right? So we can understand how it's changing over time. And let's create this get versions. And we're passing the subject as string. And then we're returning a list of integer because they are the versions. Okay, so available versions like 1, 2, 3, and the subjects we can send something like demo topic value on the subjects that we're creating. Okay, to do that we can use the get versions function method from Confluent Kafka's class from the client. So we can do like versions. It will be client get versions, and we're just passing our subject here. Let's log it. Versions for, and then our subject, and then we can show the versions here. All right, and return it. Now, similar to the previous one, if we get any error from the schema registry, oops, I said from and type it at the same time. So accept schema registry error. We can log this as well. Failed to get the versions for, and then we can send the subject, and then we can print the error just like we've been doing this whole time and return an empty string. Very similar. So see how we can start building the blocks for our wrapper based on all of the available methods from Confluent Kafka's library. Okay. Now the one we're going to implement next is the one to get the metadata for the latest version of a subject. Okay, so say we're mostly interested in the latest one, that's the most recent. We want to get the metadata associated with this. So we're going to need to send the subject name that we want to inspect, and it's going to return a dictionary with all of the metadata associated with this, like the subject, the version, the ID, schema type, schema string. So, everything that we can build ourselves that might be interested in. So let's go ahead and call this latest, def get latest, and we're going to send in the subject, which is string. And the return will be optional because we might not have anything, and we can expect to get a dictionary of a string, which will be the subject, and the union of int and string. Okay, so to do that, we're gonna try to get the metadata first using the get latest version method from the subject, and we can build the output ourselves. Okay, so we can create here subject, and we get the metadata.subject. We can have the version, and we can get the metadata.theversion. We'll have the ID, schema ID, schema type, schema type, and schema string, schema string. After we finish creating this output that we're interested in, we can log this to say the latest for, and then we can pass here the output and then the subject. So the latest for this, we can say maybe ID equals to our output ID, right? We can add another one here. You can do it in a single line, don't worry about it. So out ID, we can also have version to be our out version. And we also can have, for example, type. Right here. Type to be our output schema type. That should be enough. So we're logging in everything. And we'll return this, our dictionary. But again, we can have any error. Okay, so for now you already know what to expect. Let's log it. Failed to get latest for subject, and then we show what's the error and return anything. Okay, so this one we can get latest. So what else can we do? Maybe we can do get the schema by an ID. So whenever we know an ID and we want to get the schema based on that ID that it was created by the registry, we can do that. So let's do this. Get schema by ID. So we're gonna need to have the schema ID, which will be an integer, and in case we find something, we're gonna get an optional string. Okay, so basically the ID will be the global ID that was assigned by the registry, and it's return a schema string, which will be text or anything if we have an error. Okay, so this mirrors like what the serializers do. So it's read the schema ID from the message and try to fetch the writer schema, then decode it if they can find it. All right, so what we can do, let's do a try here. We have a method named getSchema, and we're going to pass the schema ID, and let's log it. Fetched schema ID, and then the type, schema type. Okay, and then we'll return the string. Cool. Otherwise, we throw the error again and then log it. Failed to fetch schema ID. And we print it and return that. Okay, it's getting bigger. Let's continue on the next one. While we're going to go look into how to register the schema, let's create a method for that and some other follow-ups. Okay, see you on the part number 3.